Part 2 of me tracking Taylor Swift's style evolution by using her 3 words for each album era. We have now reached 1989. I think Taylor's 3 words for 1989 were retro, graphic, and sexy. Retro and graphic stayed consistent from her previous album, but I think that she trades in that sweet, preppy style for something a little bit more grown up and sexy. While she still has a little bit of that preppiness, there's like a dash of that 1950s pinup vibe, which I think, again, like turns up the sexiness a little bit. And I think the crop tops and the silhouettes and the prints remain quite graphic. Next is Reputation, and she pivots a little bit more here. I think her 3 words for Reputation were retro, edgy, and glam. Holding on to that retro look from the previous album, but it gets a bit darker and edgier. This is also a little bit of a darker album, so I feel like what she is singing about also kind of gives that edge as well. While she's still obviously sexy, I feel like it goes a little bit more glam. She kind of goes back to that like sequin and sparkle vibe. I mean, even if we just talk about her lipstick alone, it was previously kind of a brighter red, and now it becomes a little bit darker and edgier. Street style reflects this as well. She does like a lot of boots, ripped jeans. There is like an edginess that's being introduced, which is an amazing contrast to what comes next, which is Lover. There's 3 words for Lover are glam, optimistic, and whimsical. Reputation was black and metallic. Lover was bright and poppy and light. Sparkly glam details are carried through from the previous album, but I would describe kind of like the bright colors and the rainbow as more optimistic and whimsical. Even though Folklore and Evermore are gonna seem like a big pivot, she keeps one word the same. Can you guess which one? Whimsical. I feel like her 3 words for Folklore and Evermore were whimsical, textured, and country. I think she maintains that soft and whimsical vibe for this album, but in a very different way. And it's actually very interesting because we use the word ethereal for the first album, and I feel like there is like a whimsical etherealness that she's bringing back for Folklore and Evermore. And actually, okay, on top of this, for the first album, we used the word Western, and now we're using the word country, which I kind of feel like have some sort of connection. It's more like a country cottagecore vibe than a pure Western vibe, but I feel like it is a sign of her kind of going back to her roots. I have too much to say about Midnights and too little time, so I'm gonna have to do a part 3.